probably wondering why I'm wearing these funny pajamas here with my son. But as a family physician, I'm constantly educating patients on diet and exercise. And for the exercise portion, I always tell patients that they've got to pick something that they love doing so that they can incorporate it into their daily lives. For me, I've chosen martial arts for myself and for my family. So I'm hoping you join us for this fun and interactive session on how this may be something that you and your family members may also benefit from. You ready? Let's go. Let's go say hi to Professor.
Hey, good morning, boys.
Good morning, Professor.
How are you?
Good.
Come on
yourself?
in. Oh, doing great. Come on in.
Don't forget to bow.
Ah, we're here.
Professor.
Good to see you. Hey, little one. Good to see you. Let's have some fun.
You ready to train?
Let's do
go.
it. I'm Professor Fernando Nassif. I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm a head instructor here in Gracie Barra, Dana Point, California. Been training Jiu-Jitsu for 44 years. Here in Gracie Barra, we are very proud to say that we teach Jiu-Jitsu for everyone. Back in the 90s when I started training Jiu-Jitsu, we were all fighters. We used to love competitions. Those are the main things that we're looking for in Jiu-Jitsu. But Master Carlos Gracie Sr. always had a vision that the world would be a better place if everybody had a chance to train Jiu-Jitsu. Today we have 1,007 schools worldwide, following the same curriculum, following the same structure, and little by little we are achieving that goal, that making the world a better place, teaching Jiu-Jitsu to everyone.
Thank you, Professor, for sitting down to talk to me so that I can share with everybody a little about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. For me, as a family physician, I'm constantly educating patients on exercise and how to incorporate it into their lives. And I think for me personally, the martial arts is something that's so important and it has been so beneficial for me. It's really hard to make time in this crazy, hectic life that we live in. But as long as I think you do something that you love and you're going to enjoy while you're doing it, I think that's the most important thing. So again, for me personally, that's one of the reasons why I chose Jiu-Jitsu. In terms of all the different health benefits, I think, and I'm hoping you can speak to this a little bit, I think there's a benefit in any age group if they're doing a martial art. Again, for me personally, there are various reasons why I chose Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I think any martial art has a benefit. But for me personally, I think it's benefited me and my family in so many different ways. You've got teenagers, I've got teenagers, and I think the biggest thing, particularly now and today, is potentially all that bullying. And I think the huge benefit for my kids and probably your kids as well is that self-confidence, right? Being able, there's a famous saying that many martial artists like to use, that they would rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in war. And I think that self-confidence, knowing that they don't want any trouble, like you teach them, but to be able to have that confidence to stay away from trouble is one of the big things, particularly for my 11-year-old and 8-year-old as they're coming of age.
Yeah, I think, understanding that, the fight itself is your last resource, I think the most important. We teach our kids here that, whenever they need to confront someone, the first thing that they want to do is not fighting, right? So we teach anti-bullying classes. Whenever, a kid find themselves in front of a bully, they should not, escalate the situation. Hey, stop. You need to reach out to someone trying to help you. So the last resource would be the self-defense itself. Understanding that if they need to protect themselves, they will have the tool to protect themselves. But if the best self-defense is not getting to a fight. So if they have to say, hey, you're the best, you won, and I can't go home without have to fight, that would be the best self-defense. But if they need to defend themselves, Jiu-Jitsu will allow them to be confident enough to defend themselves.
And their families. The way you always say, who else can you use your jiu-jitsu to protect?
You defend your mom, your daddy, your dogs, your cats. They want to defend everybody, but yeah, it's true, they can.
And then even for me now, you come to a point in your life where maybe you're a professional, you may be at the top of your game. I'm very blessed and fortunate to help people with their lives and help run a community clinic.
Yep.
But to step on the mats and to start from scratch and to learn, be humbled in that way, I think there's a lot to learn.
Yes.
So I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I think, no, I agree with you 100%. I think that's the biggest challenge, I believe, for an adult to start something like jiu-jitsu is to be humble enough to start something from scratch. Like you, very successful person, beautiful family, beautiful life, have to start something from scratch that you're not gonna be the best right away. It's gonna take you a while for, to understand the game. And a lot of part of jiu-jitsu is to being under pressure. So you're gonna have someone top of you trying to armbar you, trying to choke you, and you're gonna have to give up. And I think that's the most important part of jiu-jitsu. Understanding that it's okay in life for us to make mistake, reset. It's okay in life for us to give up and restart again. We have a saying, jiu-jitsu is not how many times you fall, but how many times you get up. So we tell the little kids in jiu-jitsu, you never lose, or you win or you learn. So I think there's many different ways for us to approach jiu-jitsu in different stages of our lives.
Well, even for me, I think the one that I always remember is the black belt is the white belt that never stopped.
Never give up.
Never give up. So. And then even for my patients who are older, I think that there's a huge benefit in terms of their physical health.
Yes.
To come in and to continue to work on their strength, their range of motion, their balance in order to help prevent falls at home. But I think, especially as we get older, the thing that I've noticed here is that it's a huge environment where they can still socialize and be part of something. How do you create that, and how do you create that environment for older individuals that may be thinking potentially of doing a martial art? And how do you reassure them that they're not going to get hurt?
I think, the best way for us to thinking about, like how to, if someone wants to start training jiu-jitsu and it's being intimidating by, what do you think about jiu-jitsu, right? If you think about jiu-jitsu, you think about tough guys, very strong, environment that you're gonna have to fight. And Master Carlos Gracie Jr. today, he's 73 years old. He teaches jiu-jitsu. He believes that jiu-jitsu today is for him, is more like a medicinal jiu-jitsu. The fight itself is secondary. He wants to be on the mats. He wants to keep doing his workout. Jiu-jitsu is something that you need to keep learning, so keep progressing on his learning. And I think more important is the group of people that you are on the mats every day. For a 73 years old, that most of the 70 years olds right now are sitting on the couch watching TV, not socializing with too many friends. When you start training jiu-jitsu, you kind of create a community. You become a part of a new community. Young people, older people, and I think that's very special too. Be able to, a 70 years old, engage with an 18 years old, I think that's very special. And I don't see any other sport that could, make something so special happen.
So hearing you speak about the community and the socialization reminds me of how important that is also for me as a physician, helping people with either depression or mental health. And I know, we all know that exercise releases certain hormones in the body, both in the mind and throughout the body, to help you feel better. And I think also the confidence that you talked about earlier helps individuals deal with the anxiety. How do you think jiu-jitsu helps with mental health, and how can they take this in and again learn when we're learning on the mats and take it out and apply it into the real world?
I think the mental health is something that it's out there right now. Everybody's kind of struggling with some type of depression or anxiety. I think the socialization that we get here on the mats is something that is very special. First, we are trying to armbar and choke each other, so the trust I think that we have on each other is something that is very special. Knowing that I'm going to a place that someone is there for me if I need it, but at the same same time I will be there for that person if they need it. I think it's super special. So even though we are wearing gis and we are trying to choke each other, we are part of a big family. And when you become part of this big family, I think you can rely on, you know, on each other as you struggle with something. Anxiety, for example, with anxiety, kids are anxious at home, parents are anxious at home. Bringing the kids to the mats, we allow them to release their energies.
I agree. I think, you know, I think that with the anxiety, you know, coming here, especially, I've got 3 really active boys that come in here and release that energy, any anxiety or anything going on at home or at school. Again, with the depression, hopefully building that sense of community and socialization, knowing that, you know, these people that initially are maybe acquaintances, eventually potentially even become family. You know, you know, sharing holidays, special days together, and it's somewhere where you can go and, you know, no one's judging you.
True.
It doesn't matter, you know, what you believe outside. When you're here, we're all here together, building that camaraderie, and I think that really helps with people's mental health as well.
And I think, you know, I think you're touching on something very important, Jorge. On the mats, we are all the same. There's no religion, there's no financial. As soon as you put your gi and you're stepping on the mats, we are all the same. We are the same. We're the same, from the same place, same religion, and making people more equal. I think it helps with depression and anxieties too.
So I have many patients who have some form of physical disability, and I think one of the beautiful things that you've created here is that you have some people who train here who have one form or another of physical disability, whether it's missing a limb or having cerebral palsy. So how can jiu-jitsu be for everyone, and how can you let them know that this is something for them as well that can help them in multiple aspects of their life?
Yeah, when, you know, like I always mention, when I started training jiu-jitsu was not for everyone. I think many kids that wanna do it, they were not able to because it was not an environment that they could feed on it. Today we're very proud when we say that we teach jiu-jitsu for everyone. Not only that we say, but we implement it. One of the, you know, like great things that we do here, we have a lot of special kids with special needs. And I don't know, because we do a pretty good job on taking care of the kids that people refer, and more we have, you know, kids there. They don't fit, but there's a lot of sports that you're not gonna fit if you have some type of struggles, and I think jiu-jitsu welcome those kids, allowed, you know, those kids to be part of something, to be part of a team. In our adults class, we have one of our students that has some disabilities, and when we signed him up at first, everybody was like, whoa, shocked. And you know,
I'm sorry, he has cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy, yeah, cerebral palsy. So at first, when he started training here, everybody was like, oh, how come we're gonna make this happen, you know? So we started the classes, and I was the one. I was like, Andrew, it's you and I. He did the first class with me. I did all the techniques with him. And now he's completing almost a year of training. And it's so beautiful to see how each one of the students now embrace the cause. His mom said that he never was able to be in any team sports, and for the past year he is so happy to be part of a community or something, you know, that he was looking for 28 years. When you see, you know, the class now, you see every student, hey professor, that's me today, that's me today. So the community already embraced that cause. So for me, that's super special. That goes way beyond any jiu-jitsu technique that we can teach in class.